Today we're going to be exploring how to harness the sound capabilities of the Sega Mega CD using the SGDK. A huge thank you to Vic, who has appeared in many of my videos and made all of this possible by creating the aptly named Fusion driver. He has been key in helping me integrate the driver into the SGDK. So how does it work? When a Mega Drive with a Mega CD attached is booted with a cartridge inserted, the Mega Drive usually loads the cartridge and leaves the Mega CD inactive. There are a few exceptions to the rule, such as PSOL-R, but we're not going to go into those here. There is, however, a way to still activate the Mega CD while still running a cartridge-based game. To do this, we need to follow a specific set of steps before we run our game code. Once completed, we can load data from the cartridge into the Mega CD's word and program RAM. In this instance, we load the Fusion driver into the program RAM, which allows us to access the Mega CD's sound hardware from our Mega Drive-based SGDK code. Before we dive in, make sure you have the following: VS Code, the SGDK VS template, my GitHub project, which is a modified version of Vic's original code, Audacity, SOCKS, and a compiled version of Vic's RAW 2 SPCM tool. With that out of the way, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to look at is the need to modify the ROM header. Firstly, open your GitHub project and navigate to source src boot rom_head.c. On line 17, you'll see that I've added a C to the end of JD and removed a space to maintain the correct line width. This C tells the system that we want to use the Mega CD. Without it, nothing will work. Be aware that the SGDK automatically generates this file when you do an initial build, so there's a chance this change can be lost if you're not careful. Always check that the C is present. If it's missing, re-add it. Here's a quick breakdown of some of the important files in this project. You'll have a pair of HW_MD files. These are a streamlined version of Chili Willy's Mega Drive support code, keeping only the necessary files. Next, you'll have a pair of files called HW_SCD. These are a collection of functions not present in the SGDK that are essential for the Mega CD to initialize. There's a file called cos.s, a function written in assembler that handles the Koszynski compression. This is used for copying the CD BIOS to the Mega CD's program RAM. Finally, there are a pair of files called scd_PCM. These are a collection of functions that handle the Mega CD's CD audio playback and other tasks. To initialize the CD, we call the initCD at the top of our main function. This checks for a CD BIOS, resets the gate array and sub-CPU, sets 2M mode and assigns word RAM to the sub-CPU, decompresses the CD BIOS to the CD program RAM, copies the Fusion driver to the CD program RAM, sets up write protection and comms ports, enables vint for the sub-CPU interrupts, waits for the sub-CPU to be ready, and then initializes the PCM driver. Once that's done, we're ready to start audio playback. The driver currently supports 4 methods of playing audio: compact disc digital audio, CDDA, 8-bit IMA AD PCM mono audio, raw unsigned PCM, and streaming PCM. So to play compact disc audio, we first have to loop using the CD get disk info until it returns as BIOS stat of paused. Once paused has been returned, we can use scd_cdda_play_track and pass the track number along with if we want it to repeat, and it will play the CDA audio. To pause, we use scd_cda_toggle_pause, and to stop, we use scd_cda_stop_track. To load and play a standard wave from the cart ROM, we need to do a few things. Firstly, we need to store the WAV files as binary files using the resources.res file. Then we use scd_upload_buff to upload that wave resource into the CD program RAM. Once it's installed in the program RAM, we can play the file using scd_src_play. To load and play a WAV file from the CD, we first burn an ISO CD with the WAV files on it, and then we use the scd_src_load_file to give the file name and the sfx_id we want to associate it with. We then play the file using scd_src_play, referencing both the source ID and the sfx ID. Streaming PCM from the CD takes a very similar route. We have to burn our PCM files to our CD. We then call scd_cdda_set_volume and set it to 1024 to enable the volume to be at the right level. And then we call scd_spcm_play_track, giving the PCM file name and the loop count to actually play the PCM file. You can check the status of the playback by doing a call to scd_spcm_get_playback_status. And that's it. You should now have the Fusion driver up and running in the SGDK. This will allow you to use the Mega CD's audio features in your games. If you have found this helpful, please like, share and subscribe. If you want to support my work, check out my Patreon and Ko-Fi. Every bit helps as I continue to work on chords. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.